There's no bigger name in women's sport right now than Sam Kerr. She's the Matildas captain, Chelsea striker, Australia's leading goal scorer. But Sam is more than a football superstar. She's a brand, and now it's under threat.
Kerr with the shot. Oh, I say, that's incredible!
Sam Kerr shooting into the superstar stratosphere, cementing herself as football's global golden girl. The 30-year-old building brand Kerr on the back of great goals,
Sam Kerr, boom!
popular console games,
Everything you'd ever want to see from a goal.
and commercials for sports giant Nike. On and off the field, Kerr is a sponsor's dream.
It's just been really, I guess, nice to have someone in your life that challenges you.
Last year, endorsements and salary netted her around $3.5 million. Team Matilda also striking gold, piggybacking their leader all the way to the box office. In the past 12 months, 600,000 fans attended 12 sold-out home matches, with millions more watching the broadcasts. Box office entertainment juggernaut, according to the Football Australia boss. But brand Kerr is now under threat. An alleged blue with a London bobby, apparently responding to a complaint involving a taxi fare. With so much on the line for one of footy's finest, the crucial question remains: did she or didn't she do it?
Former Socceroo and Stan commentator Craig Foster joins me. Craig, she's our golden girl, and this is one hell of a controversy.
It really is, Ali, and you know I love being here with you and you do an amazing job, but this is the one time when I would very much prefer not to be here and to be speaking about this. But, you know, it's important that sport doesn't run away in these moments, because racism is something that, you know, we faced historically, recently. Sport doesn't deal with these things well, and we tend to avoid it because of brand issues or commercial issues or sponsors. And so, you know, this whole football community, I'd say the sporting community, in fact all of Australia today, as you say, you know, Sam is an Australian hero. You know, we've been blindsided, really just flabbergasted today and trying to process what it means.
So it's alleged that she racially abused a police officer, and the charge is racially aggravated harassment.
Yeah.
I mean, you know Sam. What do you make of it?
Well, what I would say is that it's certainly inconsistent with what we know about her, and particularly her conduct as a Matilda and as the national captain in particular. So in the last couple of years, you know, she was, as captain, at the forefront of, you know, supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, for example, and First Nations rights, you know, in the last Japan Olympics and so on. So, you know, she has been prominent in terms of anti-racism messages. So, again, I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, we've had no indication of any of this type. And so when we all woke up to this morning, it's just really hit us.
So fair to say it shocked the hell out of you, hasn't it?
Oh, it's just shocked everyone. The fact that it's just come from nowhere, the fact that, you know, no one, you know, or most people in the game weren't aware of it, despite the fact that, you know, we're talking about over a 12-month period.
And was that a big mistake on Sam's behalf? I mean, this happened a year ago. She was charged about 6 weeks ago, and she never told Football Australia.
Yeah.
Why the silence, and should she have made it known when she was charged?
In my personal view, she should have, particularly as the Australian captain. She clearly must have felt that this wasn't going to go forward, but once she knew that there were criminal charges being laid, in my view, she had a duty to inform Football Australia, her governing body, and her coach and the staff. And that is, if you like, a greater duty that the captain of the Matildas or any Australian national team has.
We've seen everyone from Football Australia, the Aussie coach, all reeling from this today. It's odd that it's taken a year to charge her, and it's going to be another year before she can defend herself in court. What damage does that do to her brand in the meantime? Will she lose sponsors over this?
Yeah, I would say that, you know, from Australian sporting and social perspective, she's so loved. that there will be a tremendous amount of goodwill towards Sam, particularly given the fact that she does deserve the presumption of innocence. Yeah. And, you know, I spent a lot of time today talking on radio and so on about Sam as a role model and sporting role models and the like. And one of the important elements about that is it's actually important for kids to understand that their role models, sporting or otherwise, are still just humans and actually make mistakes. We saw what happened in NRL. We've had a whole range of issues in AFL. We in football have had issues, certainly globally. We've got racial vilification of players all around the world on a weekly basis, and the game is not dealing with it satisfactorily.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because we can never downplay racism, but we also have no idea what was said, and the trial isn't until next February. That's a long time to have this hanging over her head.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what's important is, in Australia we do love our sporting figures, to an immense degree, that, that the country doesn't tear Sam down. At the same time, what you said is right. Given that racism is not dealt with well in sport, what tends to happen is sport runs away from it, and that trivialises what it is, the importance of it, and the fact that Australia needs to really deal with these type of moments. And therefore, we have to ensure everyone knows that there is an alleged victim here, that it is important, that the rights of that person are respected as well, and that we're all able to say, look, we love her, she's amazing, has done a lot of great stuff, she might have made a big mistake, but let's just, take care of both parties within that period. And if indeed, there's a positive finding next February, then let's see how Sam deals with it on a personal level.
OK, I mean, how about the wider brand, the Matildas brand?
Yeah.
Does it impact them?
I don't really think so, in the sense that, the brand is not Sam Kerr,
She's a very big part of it, though.
She's a big part, of course, and she's the captain and so on. But again, I think everyone understands that any one of those players can make a mistake in life as humans. I say mistake, racial vilification is serious, but, they can do something wrong, and that there's still a broader team, and there's, the Matildas are doing fabulously well. We're still going to enjoy them, playing in the Olympics, and one player as central, as important, as loved and as legendary as she is not the Matildas. She's just one important part of it.
Sam Kerr is off injured at the moment, an ACL injury, and she's out for the year. In some ways, it does make things easier for Football Australia. Can you imagine, with a criminal charge hanging over Sam Kerr, them having to make the decision whether or not she goes to the Olympics?
Yeah, that's right. It would have been an even more difficult situation for them, but they would have to look at it objectively, and contractually I know that the athletes have a clause which means, if they're under criminal investigation of various types, then the governing body does have the right to stand them down. And we've seen that many times with other types of criminal allegations. Particularly of male players around the world, including England and elsewhere. So you're right, Sam is not available for selection for quite some months. Otherwise, that decision would have had to be taken. When it comes to later in the year, when she is, over a knee injury, then I think they're going to have thought about it very seriously then. And make that determination as to whether a suspension should be immediate on this basis, or whether to wait for the February hearing. Whatever the case is, they will need to demonstrate to everyone that, irrespective of the fact that it's Sam Kerr and we love Sam Kerr, we take racism and anti-racism seriously, and it doesn't matter which player it is. That's the objective nature of racism.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to hang over her head for a while until that trial in February next year. Thanks for that, Craig.
All right.